All right, students, this is what we're doing. We're going to take a ruler and a pencil, and we're going to draw a square that is 5 inches by 5 inches. But the easiest way to do it is take my ruler, line it up on the side here, and I'm going to line it up with the perforated edge, the little dotted line up here. And I can actually make that line right here along that line. So you can see it there. I'm going to line my ruler at the top of the edge there and on the side here. And then I am going to go down to where it says 1 and mark 1. And then I'm going to go down to 6 and mark where it says 6. And then I'll draw a line between 1 and 6. And now I got this border of an inch there, and I'll have an inch here, and I'll have an inch there. Now all I have to do is take my ruler like this, and it should line up perfectly on the 1 with my piece of paper right here. Nice and smooth and flush with the ruler there. And so I can go from 1 to 6 here, right? Just like I did before, and draw a line. And I perfectly have a right angle just using the paper and the edges of the paper. I can go down here, do the same thing. It lines up with 1, it lines up with the side of the paper. And then I'm going to go down to 6 and make a mark, and then draw a straight line across. There we go. Now all I have to do is take my ruler over on this edge and line it up at the top of the paper. It'll bring me to the 1 and down to the 6. And now I have a perfectly square box on my piece of paper, okay? There we go. There we go. What we're going to do is do some lines. We're going to draw some lines here. And they're going to curve, and they're going to sort of mimic each other. And I'll tell you what mimicking means in a minute. So I'm going to start up here and draw, and it's going to curve down and come to here. And that is one line. Now, if I was to copy this line, I would do the same exact one again. But I don't want to do that. I want to mimic it. So I want to follow the same direction, the same path, but it could be a little bit different. So it could start out thick, it can get thinner, I can get thick again, and back to thinner. And so it's not the same line, but it's kind of like it, okay? And so this is going to be our number 1 line. Next we're going to do is do an underlap. Overlapping is where I take something and I put it on top of something else. So like if I take this Post-it note, put it on top of my hand, that's overlapping. Underlapping is if I have something and then slide something underneath it, is underlapped. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to underlap these things here. And so I'll start up here, maybe in this corner. And when I get to this we're going to call this a ribbon here. That's number 1. Get to this ribbon, I'm going to pause, lift up my pencil, take it over to the other side where I think it's going to come out, and keep flowing on. I'll do a second one, mimicking it. So I'll get thick and thin. When I get here, I'm going to pause, go over to that first ribbon, and then I'll bring this down, and that'll give me to ribbon 2. I'm just labeling them so I know that this one goes to this one, and this one gets to that one. Let's do about 6 ribbons. So, and if you want to do yours sort of like mine, that might be helpful so you can keep up and have it similar. So then you have, let's do a number 3. I'm going to pause when I get to number 1, go under it, go over to number 2, come under it, come out. I'm going to mimic it. Let's say this one's thick, and it gets really thin there, goes back, still thin, and then it gets really thick. Could do something like that. So that'll be my number 3 ribbon. Should have one more going down, so I'll go down through the center here, get to number 3, go underneath 3, go under 1, go under 2, come out here, and I can go up, make it thick, and pause here, go onto the other side, come out, under, thicker, thinner. Look at that. Now that is our number 4 ribbon. So I have 1, 2, 3, and they're sort of all flowing around. Let's do 2 more, okay? Maybe I'll do a curved one here. So it gets thin here, comes over under 1, comes back out under on that side. Maybe it's thinner when I mimic it, come out and under, and maybe thicker. So that could be 5. Maybe I'll do one up here in the corner. Maybe it's coming down from the corner, and it goes under 3, and goes under 2, and towards the bottom here, I'll mimic it. This will be my number 6. So once I have this drawn in, this gives me an understanding of what our area is going to look like. Now, I'm going to connect this so it looks like one big ribbon and that it's connecting with the other ones, okay? And so how we do that is by taking our pencil, and let's say I want to connect this ribbon to this ribbon. So I'm connecting number 2 to number 3. So right here. What I'm going to do is take this inside of number 2 and connect it to the outside of number 3. So I'm going to make a curved line that goes like that. So I'm connecting on the inside part of 2 to the outside part of 3. And then I'll do the opposite. I'll connect the outside part of 3 to the inside part of 2 by curving that around. And that gives us this illusion. Now, to create this illusion even more, what I'm going to do is connect this part, because you can see it sort of has this M. It kind of goes down and then back out. What I want to do is just create a straight line across, and it's going to give me this illusion that it's flipping and turning over, okay? Something else I can do to help create that illusion is get rid of this corner of this box right here. So I can take my eraser and erase that corner of that box. And now it looks like that ribbon is wrapping over the corner of the box. And then I can erase this straight line right here beside this ribbon. And now it looks like it's laying over the edge and it's coming back over, okay? So I'm going to continue doing that and connecting these. So I'm going to say my ribbon is coming in here. It's coming into the frame. It's underneath there and it's coming in here. So it's going to come down and connect. And I think I might actually want to connect this one with number 1. So I'll go from the outside to the inside, like so. And from the inside to the outside, like so. And if you mess up, we're doing this in pencil so you can erase anytime, right? Inside to the inside, like so. And then that M part, I'm just going to make a straight line. And then I will erase that line on the inside of this ribbon and in there. I'll give it the illusion that it's wrapping through and around. If you need to, you can fix things a little bit. This is why we do things in pencil first. So wait. So this one, if I follow, 5 comes in, wraps around here. Maybe I connect it to this 4. So the inside of the 1 goes to the outside of the 4. The inside of the 4 goes to the outside of the 1. And then I just draw a straight line connecting those two parts. And then I erase that inside of the box, that line inside the ribbon right there. And there. Ta-da! Our ribbon is coming to life, okay? So if I'm tracing this around with my finger, it goes up, down, and it comes down here. Where do I want to connect it? I think I'm going to connect it to 3, way over here. I know it's a long thing, but this is the inside. So I am going, sorry, this is the inside. So that is going all the way out to the outside there. And this inside of the 3 is going to go all the way to the outside there of 4. And then I'll erase the line of the box. And again, there. All right. Now I need to connect a couple more. I need to connect this 2 to the 6. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 2 and I'm going to take it up and under the 3 that's out there. So I can continue that illusion. And this is the inside, so it needs to go to the outside of that 6, like so. And then that inside of the 6 needs to come down and then around. And then when I get to the 3, I need to pause, take it underneath it, and around. And now it connects, and I can erase those lines. Wait. There we go. And now my drawing is complete. I have this one ribbon that is going around, and I can trace it with my finger and see where it enters and leaves that box. Now here is the next part we need to do, and that is to grab a pen. If you're in 6th grade, you're going to be using a ballpoint pen. And a ballpoint pen just has a circular ball right here at the tip. Let's see if you can focus in camera on that. And it has a little rolly ball here. Come on. Let's see if I can show you. Sorry about this. Ugh. No. Come on. All right. Anyways, it has a little ball here on the end, and it rolls and it lets ink out. And that's what we're going to do by just using cross-hatching. So I am not going to touch any of the ribbons with this pen. The idea is to do the negative space, the space in between the ribbons. And I'm going to start in the center and work my way out. And I might start here, because if I start over here and then I put my hand on it, it's going to rub the pen. So anytime you do ink, you want to start in the center of your drawing and work out towards the edges, and then work in sections. So I'll start here in this little area, and I will just hatch like so, just drawing some straight lines next to each other with some space in between, and then I'm going to cross hatch. So go over it again in the other direction, okay, like so. And I like that. It's not bad, but I want to hatch again, but in a different direction. So I'll do a diagonal hatch here. That's going to make it darker. That's going to give it more space. And if I want to go even darker, I'll just hatch in the other diagonal direction, like there. And then you get this cool like diamond type of pattern going on. And then you'll continue doing this. Over. Like so. You'll just do all the negative spaces, okay? Like that. Now, the reason I want you to hatch is because it's practice. Remember, when I say we do things, brilliance in the basics. When you do little things like hatching really correctly, it's going to stand out and make the rest of your work look good. But if you're going sloppy, if you're going fast, if you're not actually looking where you're hatching and how you're hatching, you're going to possibly make some mistakes, and it's going to show in your work. And so when we're working in the studio, in the classroom, we want to keep this idea that, yes, something that can be basic, something can be simple like drawing a line. But when you do that line, and you draw it and it's neat and it's evened out, you're going to get something at the end of your project that has a lot more to it than maybe someone else's who just rushed through it. So it's about taking pride in your work, doing things the correct way instead of just the fast way. Because when you do the things the fast way, they're going to look a little bit more sloppy. So now these are in. I'm going to show the 8th graders, because 8th graders are doing similar, and 7th graders are doing similar things like that. But we're practicing with our fountain pen. And so if you're a 7th or an 8th grader, it's the same thing as hatching, but you're just going to use a different tool, okay? And this is just going to give us practice to learn this new thing called the fountain pen. And so you will hatch just like that as well. And you'll keep it nice and even if you're an 8th grader. And so you can see, no matter if I'm working with a ballpoint pen or a fountain pen, I am taking my time, I'm hatching it, making it look nice. I should have another version here in my sketchbook, because I did this multiple times for multiple different classes. Let me see if I can find it. If it's not, there it is. So you're going to end up with something like this, where it is filled in. And you can see mine on that one. You can see that if there's a difference. You know, you can see where it's really dark versus really light because I didn't hatch too much. Same with this one. I showed my students in class that this is a really dark area, but this is a really light area. Or if you want to keep them even. You want to keep them even. Same with this one, trying to keep them even so that they actually stand out. Now, when you get to this point here, I should use this one since it's filled in, and you feel like you're hatching and you're seeing that like, oh, this is dark, this one's light. What you can do is go back in and hatch again to make it really even and that it looks like you put the same attention here that you put in there, okay? And then when you get to it, what you could do when that's done and all your hatching looks the same, what you can do is erase these numbers. You don't need the numbers anymore. And then you can outline your ribbons with your pen like so that they stand out on top of that grid, okay? And then for areas like this where they go underneath, you can just put some hatching lines, like this one, it goes underneath. This one right here, the 4 one goes underneath. You can put a little bit of hatching lines to show shadow. Like that one ribbon on top of it, on top of the 4, is casting the shadow down on there. In these areas back here, so if I outline this one, like so, and I have this part back here, like so, it comes back down to here and comes down and around. Where it flips over here on the side, you can make this darker, like it's casting a shadow with some hatch lines. And you can graduate those so it goes darker because they're closer together to lighter or further apart. You can do the same over here, some hatch lines. Something like that. You can do it on the other side, but play around with it. It'll give it some movement, okay? Your goal is, if you're using a ballpoint pen or a fountain pen, that you're gonna hatch all the negative spaces and then you'll highlight and put shadows in on the ribbons, and then once you're done, take a picture of it and upload it to the classroom for this assignment. All right, can't wait to see what you do and how you make your ribbon flow through. All right, nice job. Can't wait to see your best work.